Hey there! Have you ever found yourself listening to someone's story and thinking, that just doesn't add up? Maybe you've even caught someone in a lie, but it wasn't just one. It was multiple times, and about all sorts of things. That's a pretty big red flag, right? Well, today we're diving into something that could be affecting your relationships more than you realize. Compulsive lying. Now, we all tell a lie here and there, but for some people, lying becomes a habit. So, how do you recognize if someone is lying constantly without even realizing it? Stick around because I've got you covered. Welcome to Mind Matters Expert. So, what exactly is compulsive lying? Well, it's when someone lies over and over again, without any clear reason or immediate benefit. These lies often don't even serve a purpose. It's just part of their behavior. For example, they might tell you a story about something they did, and then a few days later, the same story comes up, but with different details. Sometimes these lies are so exaggerated or outrageous that it makes you wonder if they even believe them themselves. Now, you might be wondering, why do people lie compulsively? The reasons can vary, but there are a few common factors at play. First, some people struggle with psychological issues, like narcissistic personality disorder or antisocial traits, that make lying a way to manipulate or control the narrative. Others might have low self-esteem. If someone doesn't feel good about themselves, they might lie to appear more interesting, successful, or just to feel better in social situations. And sometimes, compulsive lying is linked to childhood trauma or neglect. It could have started as a coping mechanism that became ingrained over time. Then, there are those who lie for attention. They crave the spotlight, so they tell bigger and wilder stories to keep people's attention on them. Lastly, for some, lying becomes an addiction. It's not even about the lie anymore. It's about the dopamine hit that comes from getting away with it. Alright, so how do you spot a compulsive liar? It's not always easy because they can be pretty convincing. But, over time, there are certain things to watch for. If you notice that someone's stories don't add up, that's a big clue. One day they tell you one version of events, and the next time they tell the same story, the details are different. A compulsive liar might not even remember what they said the last time, and it starts to feel like they're just making it up as they go. Another red flag? They lie about the little things. We've all heard people exaggerate their stories, or leave out details to make them more interesting, but compulsive liars will lie about trivial stuff, like how long it took them to get somewhere, or what they ate for lunch. It doesn't even matter. To them, the act of lying is just part of the routine. And when they start to exaggerate or make things up, you'll know something's up. They might talk about past experiences in ways that feel inflated, claiming they've traveled to exotic places they've never been, or had experiences that don't quite fit with reality. The stories may sound too good to be true, and that's because in many cases they are. One more thing to keep an eye on is their body language. When someone is lying, especially if they're doing it repeatedly, they might avoid eye contact or show signs of nervousness. Maybe they fidget, or their posture shifts awkwardly. Not everyone who lies will show these signs, but they're a common reaction to stress and guilt. Then there's a really telling sign. They don't feel bad about lying. Most people feel guilty when they lie, at least a little bit. But compulsive liars don't show that remorse. To them, lying is just a regular part of life. And when you confront them, they'll get defensive. They'll deny, deflect, or even turn the tables on you to make it seem like you're in the wrong. But here's the thing. They're often so convincing. They believe their own stories, or at least tell them with such confidence, that it can be hard to tell what's real and what's not. It's like they've perfected the art of deception. Now let's talk about the impact compulsive lying can have. If you're in a relationship, whether it's romantic, professional, or even with friends, it can really take a toll. Damaged relationships are often the first casualty. Once someone starts lying consistently, it's hard to know when they're telling the truth. Over time, this can lead to broken trust, and that can push people away. People might even start avoiding the compulsive liar altogether because they don't want to get tangled up in the web of lies. And it's not just about isolation. With all these lies stacking up, conflict is inevitable. Whether it's with a friend, partner, or coworker, sooner or later, someone is going to call them out. When that happens, it's not unusual for the liar to get defensive, making the conflict worse. On a deeper level, compulsive lying can have personal consequences. If the liar isn't able to break the cycle, they might feel anxious, frustrated, or even depressed. It takes a lot of mental energy to juggle all these falsehoods, and over time, it can really wear them down. It's exhausting and isolating. So, how do you handle a compulsive liar if you spot one in your life? It can be tricky, but there are a few strategies you can use. First, you need to set boundaries. Let them know that lying is not acceptable. Trust is the foundation of any healthy relationship, and if they can't be honest, it's hard to keep that connection intact. Next, don't enable the behavior. If you catch them lying, don't cover for them. Don't let them off the hook. Call out the lie calmly, but firmly. And if the lying continues, it may be time to encourage professional help. Compulsive lying is often tied to deeper psychological issues, and a counselor or therapist can help them address the root causes. Finally, remember to take care of yourself. Dealing with someone who lies constantly can be, really draining. Make sure you're looking after your own mental and emotional health as you navigate this difficult situation. So there you have it. Now you know how to spot a compulsive liar and what impact it can have on your relationships. It's not easy to deal with, but the key is recognizing the behavior early and setting boundaries. Thanks for watching Mind Matters Expert. If this video added value to your day, give it a like, share it with someone who could benefit, and subscribe for more practical mindset and growth content. Drop a comment below and let me know how you're applying these tools in your life. I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you next time. Stay focused and stay empowered.